Hello Fireflies, this is the Goddess of Fire here, back for another fire conversation. Hot topic today is the week of July 25th through July 31st. So we are closing out July and the energy feels very just, I don't know, contemplative is the only word that I think that can come to mind from here. So what I'm going to do, as you can see, I've already pulled a couple oracle cards to save a little bit of time off camera. So let's just dive in and see what we're working with here. Adjustments are required. The Wolf, beware of who you trust. Animal Guardian, trust your instincts. And the Trader, exchange energy to create abundance. So straight out the gate, adjustments are required. That is just, you know, that's pretty self-explanatory. But to me, this is deeper. This is a little bit bigger because, yeah, you know, things change, things shift, and we have to account for that. But these are bigger fish to fry, bigger shifts that you're experiencing right now. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of adjustments that are going to be needed at this time. We're all doing a lot of healing right now, and we're all doing a lot of nixing of things that no longer serve us, right? And that's been kind of the theme for the past few years. But the adjustments is, I think this is ultimately adjusting to relationships, kind of crumbling, jobs crumbling. It's a lot, especially if you have put a lot of yourself into something for quite some time. It's good. It's, you know, it's just like any relationship, you know, the habit that you have with something and then it's gone is always difficult to kind of realize. So just being really gentle with yourself, I think, is super duper important as you're going through a lot of big deal changes in your life, as far as, I mean, all across the board is what it feels like. But yeah, just be kind to yourself. The Wolf, beware of who you trust. For me, this feels like wolves in sheep's clothing. So definitely be aware of who you have surrounding you. I just made this meme that says, you know, if they're giving you intel, or if they're supplying you with intel, then they're giving intel. You know, be careful because most spies are double agents type thing. And I was also saying, you know, be careful who you vent to. Not everybody that's in your corner actually has your back. Not everybody that has gone through things with you is going to continue to go through things with you. So I think that is coming very much, you know, going back to the adjustments required, that's going back to that a little bit, and bringing our awareness to people that are surrounding us that are not best suited for our greater good. Moving right along into the Animal Guardian, trust your instincts. With this one, it can be difficult to trust your instincts. It can be difficult to trust that gut feeling that we all have, which is our intuition, right? But the biggest message I'm trying to relay right now is, how many times have you not listened to your gut and regretted it later? So at this point, I think, you know, again, going back to the adjustments are required, this is going to take a lot of willpower and a lot of strength to push through certain removals in our lives. And that's definitely, it feels like a lot of relationships. For a lot of us, it feels like we're making moves, not just moves within our lives, but actual moves, like moving to a different place, and working with that. That's what I'll say. And if you have been on the fence about making a big important move, this is kind of your wake-up call for that. Like, yeah, this is an affirmation. And then the Trader, exchange energy to create abundance. This is really tapping into the heart chakra, and I've said this to you guys before, that the heart chakra is how we give and how we receive any type of manifestations or abundance in our experience, right? So if we are blocked off, or if we are creating limitations to ourselves, restrictions to ourselves, then we're essentially closing off our heart chakra and closing off our ability to receive. So allowing ourselves to open up, trusting our instincts, and making the proper adjustments will create more of an abundant flow within our lives. And that's not just talking about monetary wise, but it is talking about that too. But we don't want to ever limit ourselves, like I just said, to believing that abundance is only within one form, because we can have a rich life without being physically rich. And I think that's something that a lot of us need to remember. All right, so I'm going to pull some tarot here, see what we're doing. Yeah, and I just said that we were, yeah, how interesting. Wow, you cannot make this fucking shit up. Okay, so I said adjustments are required. This is, I was just making a mention that if we are restricting ourselves in any way, right? This is typically seen in traditional tarot as the devil card. And this is just you kind of breaking free from any type of limitations that you've created upon yourself. And a lot of us are coming to those realizations that it's not that we can't do something or can't create something or can't begin something. It's that we have to first give ourselves permission to do so first. That was kind of redundant, first. But yeah, you have to give yourself permission to do things, especially if you are so used to doing things a certain way, and kind of going by the book. Now at this stage, we are no longer playing it safe. We're coloring outside of the lines, and we're taking calculated risks, because we only live one life, right? I mean, that's kind of a joke, because I don't really truly believe we live one life, but this life, we want to live each and every life that we have to its fullest, right? So if we are chained up to any, limiting beliefs, negative thought processes, things like that, bad habits, and that could be in the form of putting yourself down, not eating well, drinking too much coffee, things like that. But we're kind of making the adjustments required and cleaning house. And this is going right in alignment with that. Adjustments are required. So whatever it is that you need to make some changes and shifts towards on your own accord, that's what that's speaking to right now. Because we're never truly trapped. It's just the illusion of being trapped, right? Our mind is a very, very powerful thing. So if we think that we can't do something, we can't do something, right? But if we believe that we can do something, we can. So to me, with this Page of Pentacles right on top, it's the belief that we can create something better for ourselves in this life. Pentacles are tangible. This is 3D life. This is, you being at the beginning stages of a new physical shift in your experience, which is really, really beautiful. And then we have the Queen of Queen of Wands underneath the beware of who you trust. I think this is really, really important, especially because the Queen of Wands is a very confident energy. She takes no shit from anybody, honestly, and she does it with grace, and she does it in a way that is charming and is well liked and well seen and well respected. But you're coming into this new stage where you're able to actually speak up for yourself. And I'm making really high notice to her scepter that has like the Mercury wings from the Caduceus, so to me this is saying that you are strong in your communication right now, or are getting there. And the black cat in the picture is also saying that you are divinely protected, so you are safe to exist how you are, how you want to be, and how you should be. The Nine of Cups, this is wish fulfillment. This is opening ourselves up to possibilities. We're opening ourselves up to dreams, and to trying to make these dreams a reality. This is really truly about bringing in manifestations. honestly. I'm going to pull another card on top of that. Yeah, because when we, man, this, you can't make this up. When we, Eight of Cups is letting things go, right? So we're saying we need to make adjustments in our life and let certain things go. So for this, Eight of Cups is letting things go, right? We've got to drop burdens in order to catch blessings. So that's super duper important information. Oh, and again, this is bringing some heart chakra. There's going to be an even give and take once we are able to balance out the good and the bad in our lives. Wow, that's pretty deep. And trusting your instincts. We have the World coming up underneath that, which is just highlighting the fact that we're coming to a closure. We're stepping through, coming to a closure, stepping through a portal into a new, I want to say a new dimension, but it's almost just like a new version of ourselves, a new version of our lives, the upgraded sense, right? And for some of you, this is really about travel too. But what this really is saying to me too is the freedom to be, the freedom to exist, and to follow what feels right to us. Yeah, and allowing us to manifest the life that we want. Trusting our instinct is no longer allowing ourselves to give in to any type of mental fuckery. The Five of Swords is usually about internal conflict, right? But to me, this image is telling me that we're choosing our thoughts wisely. Because as you can see here, there's two swords on the ground, and he's got three swords within himself. So he's choosing his thoughts wisely. And he even has a smile on his face as he's looking at, you know, these individuals walking away, because you want to know what, their truth doesn't match his truth anymore, and that's important. And we also pulling the World on top of that, so that's just kind of a double tap that we are making the possible change, the positive changes, and allowing ourselves to co-create with the universe, with this world and magician on top of the world, and choosing our thoughts wisely. That's really, really important. Underneath the exchange of energy, we have the Four of Pentacles. And as I was saying before, the Four of Pentacles, as I was saying before with the Trader, exchanging energy to create abundance. Sorry if you guys hear any background noise, that's my hubs coming home. I just told him to be quiet silently as I'm telling you guys that I told him that. That's about that heart chakra again. You know, if we are closed off and we are not allowing ourselves to be open, we are unable to receive. But we're, you know, it's about that even exchange, right? And the Four of Pentacles is really illustrating the fact that you might be a little bit closed off. You know, a little bit of that lack consciousness. When what we believe, we create, right? So if we believe that we are abundant beings, that we have rich resources constantly coming to us, then we will create that, we will draw that in. But if we're always saying, I'm broke, I can't do something, then we'll never be able to do it. It's balancing, it's keeping that balance. It's creating an even exchange in between the give and take of your heart chakra. So you got to open up in order to truly receive. And again, going back to being able to drop burdens in order to catch blessings, that's super important. But finding that balance of that give and take, it's going to be a little bit difficult for you in the beginning if it's not something that you're used to. I know a lot of us that are making these required adjustments in our lives are so used to putting ourselves kind of on the back burner, last on the list, and doing more for others than we actually do for ourselves. And some of us feel like that's normal and that's the way that it should be, but it's not. You know, you got to keep something for yourself in order, you know, you got to fill your cup first before you can fill anybody else's. And if you are trying to pour from an empty cup, everybody's suffering, especially you. Exactly. There's an anxiety here. So being able to release this fear is going to swiftly bring in more of your manifestations, more of that abundance that you're looking for, more of those connections. When we open our hearts, we open ourselves up to all of our greatest goods. Say some mantras to yourself. If you feel like you don't have enough resources, say, I am a money magnet. I say that to myself frequently, and it works out pretty well for me. If you feel like you're not confident, tell yourself that you are, and keep saying it until you are convinced of the words that are coming out of your own mouth. I'm going to leave you guys with one more card for closure, and I'm really, really happy. I think you might even be able to hear it in my voice. But we pull the Sun. It's a time for great joy. It's a time for success, for happiness. A time to express gratitude, and a time to really to celebrate the fact that you have done so much work on your healing and creating the experience that you want to have within this incarnation. I hope this video was helpful for you guys this week. Until next time.